Hello everyone, welcome to the session 3. So in the previous session we have studied how to define the learning problems and we have identified the basic features of learning problem, that is task, performance measure to be improved and source of experience. Along with that we have seen some of the examples like checkers game, handwritten recognition problem and robot driven learning problem. So in this session we will try to understand how to design a learning system. So we shall start now. So before starting to design a learning system, try to illustrate these basic design issues and approaches of machine learning by considering an example. So that example is to design a program to learn to play checkers game. So with a goal of entering into the world checkers. So by taking this example, as we have already seen that checkers example, so there are 5 steps are there. One is to choose the training experience. Next is to choose the target function and how to choose the representation for the target function and to choose a function approximation algorithm by using two other methods like estimation training values and adjusting with the weights. And the last one is the final design. Now, the first design choice is to choose the type of the training experience from which the system will learn. So here, the type of the experience which is available that can have a greater impact on success or failure of the learner. So there are 3 attributes that impact on success or failure of the learner. The first one is whether the training experience provides a direct feedback or indirect feedback. That is with respect to the choices made by the performance system. That is one thing. Second one is the degree to which the learner can control the sequence of training examples here. And the last one is how well your examples are distributed and it has been taken for the performance that has to be measured. So that is the third point, that is distribution of the example. So these are the 3 important attributes that will make your system failure or successful. Let's go in detail now. So let's consider the first attribute, that is whether the training experience provide direct or indirect feedback regarding the choices made by the performance system. So let's consider the same example, that is learning to play checkers. So in learning to play checkers game or program, the system might learn from directed training examples. So what this training example consists of? The individual checkers, board state and the correct move for each. So here what the board state consists of, in the sense in the information, this is one of the board state. What this information consists of: how many white dices are there, how many black dices are there, how many kings are there, how many white dices are threatened by the black and vice versa. So all other informations are provided by your board state. So along with that, correct move for each of the dices. As I already said that there are 2 types of moves are there. One is legal move and illegal move. Legal move in the sense it has to follow the rules of your checkers game. One of the best example is it has to move, dices has to move diagonally and through in a forward direction. This is one thing. And for a king dices, king can move in forward direction and also in the backward direction and to in a diagonal way. So this is how the legal moves are there. So in the direct training example, it provides 2 information, checkers, board state and along with the correct move for each one. But whereas in the indirect training examples, it provides only the move sequence of individual board state, not board state, dices. So it does not provide any of the board information and the final result of your game, whether the game has won or lost. So here along with that, the learner faces an additional problem that is called as credit assignment. So what this credit assignment tells that it will determine the degree to which each move in the sequence made it deserve credit or blame for the final outcomes. So here the credit assignments may be a difficult problem because the game can be lost even when you take an optimal moves during the earlier stage of your game. So at the later stage you might have taken the poor moves. Because of this you have lost the game. So remember, so learning from training, that is indirect training examples, little bit difficult compared to your direct feedback. So hence always we try to choose direct training feedback rather than indirect feedback for these types of examples. Let's consider the second attribute, that is degree to which the learner control the sequence of training examples. So for the same examples, that is learn to play the checkers game, here the learner may depend upon the teacher to select the information about the board state and to provide the correct move for each state. This is one thing. Second way is learner might propose a particular board state, and if he finds confusion or if he find difficult to choose the dices or any of the things or moves, so he may ask the teacher for the correct moves. This is second way. So here remember, the learner has complete freedom, that is complete control over the board state and also the training experience. So as it with depends upon the with the teacher or without teacher. So these are the things with respect to the second attribute. So now consider the third attribute, that is distribution of examples over which the final system performance P which is measured. So let's consider the same example, checkers game. So in the checkers game, the performance matrix P is denoted by the percentage of game the system win in the world tournament. So it is very important to choose your training experience, that is E. See, whenever you train your system, you have to choose the distribution of example, that is distribution of the training experience in a proper way. In the sense, you should not train your system only by providing the examples which has won the system, won the game. So if you feed only the examples which has won the game, so at a later stage during the world tournament, your system may face some situation where your system may not solve that difficult situation. Hence, try to give an training experience where it consists of an examples of lost game also. So that will make your system to train better. So this is the third attribute, that is distribution of examples. So the next design choice is to choose the target function. As we have already seen in the first choice is to make the training experience. So here the type of the training experience, that was direct or indirect feedback. Second one is learner controls the sequence of training examples, and the last one is a distribution of the example. The next choice of the design is to determine what type of information or knowledge that will be learned and how that knowledge will be used by the performance program. So the next is the same thing. Let's consider the checkers game. So here that checkers playing program that can generate a legal moves from any of the board state. So the program needs to learn how to choose the best moves among these legal moves. So the obvious choice is the type of the information to be learned is either a program or a function. So that chooses the best moves for any of the given board state. So let's take the best thing is target function, which is denoted as choose move. So here that is denoted as choose move B to M. So this target function, which indicates that this choose move function accepts as input from any of the board from the set of legal board, from the set of legal board, and what it produces as output of some moves from the set of legal moves. So this is an target function. Choose move is your target function. B is nothing but your board state. Next one is M is your output, that is of set of legal moves. So this choose move is a choice for the target function in the checkered example, but this function may turn out to be very difficult to learn because the given information which is of indirect training experience which is available to the system. So this may be difficult. So let's consider the second or alternative method for choosing the target function. In the first method, that is a choose move, which gives an indirect training experience for our system. So that is very difficult to make a decision or to make a choice of best legal moves from any of the board state. So the second option is evaluation function. So what it does, it will assign some numerical score to the board state. So let's it is denoted as target function called as a V. So and the notation is a V colon, that is which maps a legal board to some real value. Okay, R is nothing but your real value. So what it does, this target function, the main intention is the target function V to assign some high scores for better board state. So if so that if a system can successfully learn such type of target function V, then it is very easy to select the best move from any of the current board position. So let's take a small example here. So here it is defined, the target value is defined as V of B for any of the arbitrary board B as follows. So if B is a final board state, if B is a final board state, that is 1, then V of B is given with a value called as 100. Same way, if B is a final board state and if it is lost, then it is denoted with minus 100. So if B is a final board state that is drawn, then V of B is 0. If B is not a final state and if it is any of the intermediary state, then it is denoted as VB is equals to VB dash. So B dash is your best final board state that can be achieved from B and playing optimally till the end of the game. So these are the two ways to choose your target function. One is with the help of indirect training example, that is choose move. So it is difficult for us to train our system as it provides only the moves, but it does not provide any of the values. But whereas in the second method, that is evaluation function, it provides for each and every board, it will provide some real value so that you can choose the better values. First two design choices are done. Let's take another next step is choosing a representation for the target function here. Here let's take a simple representation for any of the board state. So board state is remember this one, this is any one of the arbitrary board state. So this board state, as I already said, that the target function is here, it is denoted as C. So what it does, it calculates a linear combination of the board feature. So what I do is, I will take some features of this particular board state and I denote in terms of numerical values. So let's consider the first one, that is x1. What x1 is the total number of black pieces on the board. You can see this one. This is any one of the arbitrary board state. How many black dices are there or pieces are there? This is denoted as x1. The next one is x2. That is how many red pieces or cream or light pieces are there on a particular board. And the next one is how many black kings are there, how many red kings are there, and the next one is how many black pieces which are threatened by the red, and the last one is your the number of red pieces threatened by the black pieces. So these are the some of the features that what I have selected, and it is denoted as x1 to x6. So now let's represent this entire feature in the form of linear function. So here the learning program will represent as a linear function of the form, you can call it as a v dash or v cap, is equals to v cap of b is equals to b w naught w1 x1 till w6 x6. So here w naught, I will tell you later, w1 to w6 are nothing but your weights. It can also be called as a numerical coefficient which is chosen by the learning algorithms. So here the w1 till w6 will determine the importance of various board features. So that will help us to determine the value of the board. And w naught, it is an weight which will provide an additional constant to the board value. So this is how I represent the features in the form of linear function for my particular target function. Till now we have completed half of our designing part. So the first was we have to determine the type of experience of a system, that is whether the game has to play against itself or against experts. So it may given some correct moves in the form of tables. So among that we have chosen the training experience as E, as a game played against itself, and second choice was to determine the target function. So here we had a two choice, one is board along with that moves, where it will provide your indirect experience, indirect feedback for our training system, training experience. And next one is the board value, that is target function V, which maps to some particular board with the value R. So this is what we have chosen. The second one is a target function, and the third one is to determine the representation of a learned function or a target function. So we have n number of ways to represent the target function. Some may be polynomial function, linear functions of our features, and artificial neural networks. So the best thing is we have chosen very simple representation called as linear functions of 6 features. So this is our partial design. Next choice is choosing a function approximation algorithm. So here the function that is represented as f, that is target function. To learn the target function, we need some set of training examples. So that training example will describe board state, that is represented by B, and training value, that is represented as V train of B for board. So each training example, which is represented in an ordered pair of form B, V train of B. So this is how we use the training examples to approximate your algorithm. Let's take an example here. So the example is the same checkers game, that is a board B in which black has won the game. So how do you represent that training examples? Here you can see that x1 is equals to 3, x2 is equals to 0, x3 is equals to 1, x4, x5, x6 is equals to 0, and plus 100. What do you mean by 100? That is, we have already denoted that in the previous choosing the target function. That is, if any of the board B is a final board state, if that is 1, then V of B is equals to 100. This is what we have learned in second choice. So that is 100. The next one is when we say that black has 1 in the sense, here you can see x1 is equals to 3. It means the total number of black pieces on the board is 3. And you can see x2 is equals to 0. That is the number of light colored pieces or dices on the board is equals to 0, which means that there is no opponent for black. In a sense, the game has won. Who has won? The black dice has won the game. This is how we represent the training examples for choosing an approximation algorithm. So now we shall identify the algorithms for choosing the approximation function. So next we shall see. In function approximation procedure, there are two major steps are there. One is derive the training examples from an indirect training experience which is available to the learner, which means that you have to estimate the training value by taking any one of the intermediary board state and assign that value to the V train of B, so that it will try to identify the values for an board. Next step is once you get the values of a board state, that is training example, you adjust the weights, that is Wi, to best fit these training examples. So these are the two important steps. One is to derive the training example. Next one is to adjust the weights that is best fit for this training examples. The first step is estimating training values. So let's recall that whatever we have discussed in the previous designing steps. There, formulation for the learning problem is that the training information which is available to the learner is whether the game has won or lost. That is one information that what we have received, and on other hand we required some training examples, so that the training examples will assign some specific scores to the board state. So it is easy to assign a value to the particular board state, so that corresponds to the end of the game. But here it is very difficult for assigning the training values for an intermediary board state that occurs before the game's end. So the game which is won or lost does not indicates that every board state along the game path was necessarily good or bad. For example, even the program loses the game, but still there are some cases where the board state occurs earlier in the game should be treated as a highly optimal, and that can cause subsequent poor move at the later stage. There is one simple approach that was found surprisingly which was successful, that is to assign training value, that is V train of B, to an any of intermediary board state, that is B, that is to be considered as V dash or V cap successor of B. So here V dash or V cap is the learner's current approximation to V, and successor of B denotes the next board state of B for which it is again the program's turn to move, that is the board state following the program's move and the opponent's response. So here you can see the rule for estimating the training values, that is V train B, where the value is assigned as V dash or V cap successor of B. So this is how we identify the value or estimate the training value for any of the intermediary board state. Remember this training rule. Second step is adjusting the weights. Here you have to specify the learning algorithm for choosing the weights Wi to best fit the set of training example. Here the examples are denoted as a pair of board and vtrain of board, that is value of training examples of that particular board. So before we start, we have to define what do you mean by best fit to the training data. So one of the approach is to define the best hypothesis or set of weights is to minimize the squared error between the training values and value predicted by the hypothesis. So here you can see the formula over here. Here you have to identify the difference or error value between your train value and your predicted value. So the difference will be your error value. This has to be minimized. So there are several algorithms are there to find the weights of a linear function that minimizes the error value E. So one of the algorithm is least mean square, or it can also be called as LMS training rule. So this LMS weight update rule, for this we provide the training example which is in the form of paired value, that is b comma value of b, that is of training value, and we use the current weights to calculate the v dash of b. So here as a first step we have identified the error, that is error is equals to v train of b minus v dash of b. This is what we have identified. So the second step, that is to find the weights of this particular linear function, that is use this formula, that is wi is equals to tends to wi plus eta multiplied with v train of b, that is training value of particular board value, minus v dash of b, that is predicted value, into xi. Here xi is board features. So use this formula to get the updated value or the new value for wi. So here eta is a small constant. It can range from 0.1 to 0.9. So but we always choose minimum value, that is 0.1. So that will moderate the size of the weight update. So when the error, that is v train of b minus v dash of b, is 0, it means that no weights are changed. Second condition is when v train of b minus v dash of b is a positive, that is when predicted value is too low, then each weight is increased in proportion to the value of its corresponding feature. So that may raise the value of v dash, which causes in the reducing the error value. This is second condition. Third condition is if the value of some feature is 0, that is xi is equals to 0, then these weights are not altered regardless of the error. So only weights are updated for those features which actually occurs on training example board. We shall see the last step, that is final design. The last step is final design. The final design of Checkers learning system that can be described by 4 program modules that represent the central components in many of the learning system. The first one is performance system, the critics, generalizer, and experiment generator. The first module is performance system. This module must solve the given performance task by using your learning target function. It takes an instance of a new problem, that is new game, as input and produce a trace of its solution as output. This is your first module. Second module is critics. So this critics takes an input, the history or the trace of the game, and produce as output as the set of training examples of target function. So this training example is given as an input to the generalizer module. This generalizer module produces an output hypothesis that estimates of the target function. It generalizes from a specific training example, hypothesizing a general function that covers these examples and other case beyond the training examples. So the last module is your experiment generator. This experiment generator takes input as a current hypothesis and produces a new problem, that is initial board state, for the performance system to explore. So its role is to pick new practice problem that will maximize the learning rate of the overall system. So the sequence of design choice made for the checkers program is summarized in next slide. So the last is the sequence of design choices which are made for checkers program. Here it is summarized. The first is to determine the type of training experience. As we had three or many options was there. One is to play game against expert, to play games against self, and tables of correct moves. So these are the three options where there we have chosen to play game against self. So second step was to determine the target function. As we had two options, one is to take the legal moves, that is indirect feedback of our training experience. So that was difficult to identify the best moves. So the next one was values, which is assigned to board. So a board having the maximum optimal value, so that board has been taken up for next step. So the next step is to determine the representation of learned values. There are a number of representations are there. One among them is polynomial, linear function, artificial neural network. So among these we have chosen a simple form, that is linear function for our features. And after that, the fourth step is to determine the learned algorithm. One is gradient descent, linear programming. So we have chosen gradient descent, that is LMS training rule. So, and fifth step is the completion of the design. So this is the final design for designing your learned system. Thank you. We shall see in the next session.